We're on the record in cause number 329612. The case is style of State of Texas versus Michael James Brown. We have Mr. Brown appearing on Zoom. Mr. Brown, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Brown, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, Mr. Brown, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Brown?
I'm doing okay, sir.
That's good. That's good. Now, Mr. Brown, I have before me an information that alleges on or about February 11 of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2A. Mr. Brown, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Brown, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, sir.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
I didn't understand the question, sir.
Are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir. I
Okay,
don't want to fight it.
okay. Now, Mr. Brown, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishments. And on page 2 of this document, well, page 1 of this document, there's a box that's checked, Class B misdemeanor confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 180 days, a fine not to exceed $2,000, or you can be given both such fine and confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment in this case?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Brown, there is a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. The initials are MJB. Did you place your
Yes, sir.
initials on this document?
Yes, sir. That's my initials.
And on
Okay.
page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. And that signature reports to be your signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
And on page 3 of this same document, no, actually on this next document, which is titled the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature above the line that's titled defender that purports to be your signature. Did you place your signature on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Brown, did you sign a document out there that is titled Discovery Certification?
I think so. Oh, yes, sir, I did.
And
Yes,
now,
sir.
Mr. Brown, prior to signing and initialing all of these documents that I just mentioned, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, they are.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. And State, would you also like to offer State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
Without
objection?
objection, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Freeman, you've advised and counseled Mr. Brown. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, your attorney, Mr. Freeman, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir, he has.
Mr. Brown, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your pleas and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Could you give me his judges, what is it called? Magistrate's warning? Yeah. Okay, now, state, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's for 45 days county jail.
Mr. Brown,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 45 days in the Jefferson County Jail, and you'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The state, now there's $327 of court costs in this case. Will you be able to pay the $327 court costs before you get out of jail?
No, sir. I'm homeless out there.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay, now, Mr. Brown, I'm looking at an affidavit of indigency that was signed by you. Well, it's not signed, but apparently somebody took some information from you on May 27th of 2021. And I'm looking at this affidavit. It states that you have no income and no assets. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Now, it says expenses on here, $72. What is $72?
That's just my cell phone, sir.
Oh, your cell phone is $72 and that's your only expense. Is that correct?
Well, besides food and things of that nature, I
Okay.
gotta pay for food, but yes, sir. That's pretty much my only bill.
Let me ask you this here. What are you averaging in food amount? That you have,
Oh, if I had to guess, I don't get a whole lot. Let's say $150.
okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, so that's the 150 plus the 72. Is that correct? So that's about 220.
222.
Yeah. And so, Mr. Brown, so you have no other income and you have no other expenses. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you receiving any government assistance like Medicaid, SSI, SNAP, or TANF or public? You say you're homeless. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I am getting food stamps, sir.
You are getting,
I get food stamps.
okay, well,
So that
then,
helps a lot. That helps a lot.
okay, how much is that? Oh, that's part of the, is that part of the 150?
230, because of the COVID, they upped it 15% till September. I get 234 a month
Okay, 234, okay,
on the food stamps, sir.
okay. Okay, so your assets is 234, well,
So that helps a lot.
Mr. Brown, the court is gonna find that you're indigent. And because you are indigent, pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, your court costs in this case will be waived, which means you won't have to pay it, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Now, indigent, okay. Now, let me repeat, the judgment, now the state is offering that you serve 45 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law. And the court cost in this case is $327. However, the court has found that you're indigent and pursuant to Article 42.15 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the court cost is waived. And Mr. Brown, do you understand the state's offer and the finding by the court?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you think that is fair and just?
I think that is very fair, sir.
And do you accept it?
I accept it, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you've entered into with the previous mentioned findings in cause number 329612. Mr. Brown, this will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. You're welcome. Good job, sir. Oh, he's Mr. Bynum.
Huh? Who is this?
That's not for me, John. I think that's all I have.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Now, I didn't hear him. Who is this?
His last name is Arline.
Arline. Okay. Hold on, Mr. Freeman. Let's see. I just need to make. Okay, that's Arline. Where is Arline? Okay. And let me, what happened with, let's see, it's Tankersley. That's that one. So that's all of Mr. Freeman's. Bailey, Tuska. Okay, Mr. Freeman. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
this will conclude your cases. Thanks. You're free to go and have a blessed day.
Thank you, John. You have a great day too.
All right. Is Bynum, is Arline signed up?
Yes, sir, he's right here. And then this one, we talked about.
You gonna, yeah, you're,
Yeah, I already read. So I'm gonna throw this one away.
okay. This is, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay. Who has more? Who's,
Oh, it's for fun.
oh, okay. Are we ready on Mr. Arline?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We're on the record in cause number 322756. The case is styled as State of Texas versus Dylan Arline. Mr. Arline, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Arline, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Arline, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Arline?
Doing good.
That's good. Mr. Arline, I have before me a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. And in this motion, it alleges that on June 18th of 2019, in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, that the court found the evidence sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt, support a finding of guilt for the offense of theft, which was a Class B misdemeanor. However, the court deferred adjudicating your guilty in accordance with the provisions of Article 42.12 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, State of Texas, and the court placed you on adjudicated probation for a period of 2 years. On April 20th of 2021, the state filed a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. In this motion, there are 3 allegations. The first allegation alleged that you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as ordered by the court for the months of February 2021, March 16th of 2021, as directed in violation of condition 4 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 2 alleges that you failed to pay court-assessed fees as ordered by the court, and as of March 30th of 2021, you were $1,171 in arrears in violation of condition 8 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 3 alleges that you failed to perform the community service hours required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Are you pleading true to allegations 1, 2, and 3 freely and voluntarily?
True.
Are you pleading true to these allegations freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading true to these allegations because they are true?
Yes.
Mr. Orline, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishments. On the first page of this document, there's one box that's checked, and that box that's checked is titled MTR repeat, which means motion to revoke probation. Do you understand that?
Yes.
On the next page of the same document, there are a set of initials DA on a line next to a box that's checked MTRP, true to allegations 1, 2, and 3. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes.
On on the next document, which is titled Trial Court's Certification of the Defendant's Right of Appeal, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. And that signature purports to be your signature. Did you sign this document?
Yes.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Arline, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Bynum, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Bynum?
No objection.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Bynum, you've advised and counseled Mr. Arline. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Arline, your attorney, Mr. Bynum, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Arline, I will accept your pleas are true to allegations 1, 2, and 3. I will also find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your pleas and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and there's sufficient evidence to revoke your unadjudicated probation. And Mr. Arline, your unadjudicated probation will be hereby revoked on the fine, and the court will will adjudicate you guilty in this case. And State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 15 days jail time, credit for time served, tax and retire court costs.
Okay. Mr. Arline, the state is offering that you serve 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you have already served 15 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. Fine and court costs in this case, now the court cost in this case is $57. You would not have to pay the court costs in this case of $57 because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the fine of $57, the court cost of $57 will be taxed and retired. Mr. Arline, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Arline, Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Arline, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Arline, this will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you. One more, Your Honor.
Okay. We're on a record in cause number 329510. The case is styled the state of Texas versus John Edward Moore. Okay. Mr. Moore, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Moore, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moore, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Moore?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Max. Mr. Moore, the information in this case alleges that on or about March 2nd of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Mr. Moore, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Moore, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Okay.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Free and voluntary.
Okay. Now, and Mr. Moore, are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Are you pleading no contest because you do not want to fight or contest the charges?
I don't fight.
Okay. Now, Mr. Where is it? All right. Now, Mr. Moore, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. On page 1 is the box checked at the top states that this is the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor is confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 1 year and a fine not to exceed $4,000 or both such fine and confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this document, there's one box that's checked. It's on a line nola contingere, and there are a set of initials, JM. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature that purports to be your signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature at the bottom above the line that's titled defendant that purports to be your signature. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And at the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moore, did you sign a document out there that is titled the discovery certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Moore, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned, did your attorney, Mr. Bynum, go over these documents with you?
Yeah, what?
Did your attorney go over the documents with you, the documents that you signed?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
True. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moore, I will accept, let's see. Oh, state, do we have any, exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to offer Citizen Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit.
And, I have before me also state's exhibit number 1. So you like to offer states 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bynum, the state is offering states exhibit number 1 and 2. Do you have any objections?
No objection.
Okay, no objections. States exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Bynum, you've advised and counseled Mr. Moore. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Moore, your attorney, Mr. Bynum, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Moore, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement? State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, there's a plea offer, plea bargain agreement.
What is
For
that
three-
agreement?
365 days, probated over 2 years, a $500 fine, 80 hours community service, anger management, and no contact with Penny Johnson.
Oh, that's in the report out there. Oh, okay. Okay, now, this Penny Johnson, now this occurred in Port Arthur. Is that correct, Mr. Bynum?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, no, the only reason why I was stating that, I know a lady, her last name is Johnson. I think her nickname was Penny, but she lives in Beaumont. So this is not, this did not occur in Beaumont. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's probably not. I think her name is something else anyway, her first name. All right, now, Mr. Moore, the state is offering that you serve 365 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in jail in this case because you will be placed on probation for 2 years. During the 2-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $342. And you'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month and a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. The total monthly installments that you would have to pay each month in this case will be $115. Mr. Moore, would you be able to pay the $115?
Yes, sir.
You will? Okay, now, Mr. Moore, you also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You would have to attend the anger management class as a condition of your probation, and you cannot have any contact with Penny Johnson. And this case, and also you would also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Now, Mr. Moore, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moore. Let's see. I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Moore, this will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
It does.
Mr. Moore, I think if,
Well, I'll be able to do today.
Mr. Moore, if there's not anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out today.
I think.
I think that's everything on my docket, Judge.
Yes, I think that's everything that we have. I don't think we have anything else left. Mr. Monty, Deputy Monty,
Yes, sir.
let's see, I'm just looking at the docket. Okay,
The only thing I'm seeing is Jesse DiStefano.
is his attorney there?
He has not appeared out here, Your Honor.